Hey there, it's John Paul. You're listening to Life's Potluck Buffet. Today's worksheet is all about putting your oxygen mask on first before you help others. So stick around for worksheet 20. So today's worksheet is worksheet 20, and you may recall card 20. Remember, card 20 was all about that idea that is essential to safety in an emergency situation on a plane when the cabin loses pressure and oxygen masks descend. What are you supposed to do? Well, if you've ever been on a plane, you know that you're supposed to put your oxygen mask on first before helping others who need help getting their oxygen mask on. And as I said when I was talking about card number 20, this kind of emergency advice is really reassuring to me about humanity because we tend to want to help others first before we take care of ourselves. The problem with that is this in life is the same as the problem on the plane. If you don't take care of yourself first, you can't take care of others. And we all know that, but even though we all know it, we sometimes or often don't follow our own advice. So, worksheet 20 is all about writing or drawing about one way that you take care of yourself. Because as Professor RuPaul wisely says, if you can't love yourself, you know the rest. So in honor of that self-love, we have on the top left-hand corner a heart. It's upside down. Kind of could be a shape of an oxygen mask from a plane. And then on the bottom right-hand corner, we have two dumplings and a heart. Oh, on the top left, there are also two dumplings. I didn't mention that. And on the bottom right-hand corner, we have a heart with two dumplings. And that is representing taking care of yourself. So, okay, let's do this. Put on your oxygen mask first. Okay, so write or draw about one way you take care of yourself. Okay, I'm going to choose a pen color, as is traditional. I've gone back to clicking on the wrong thing. Okay, there we go. Pen color for today. I'm going to do blue because there's lots of blue going on, and why not continue the blue? So I'm going to draw two musical notes here. Oh, I made one a eighth note, one 16th note. Okay, there you go. So that's one way that I take care of myself is music. I always have. It's always been a way that I have taken care of myself. When I most need it, I often turn to music, whether that's going to see a performance or just listening to a streaming music service. I won't mention which one since they're not sponsoring this. If any streaming music service feels like sponsoring this podcast, then please do. I'll say your service all the time. Okay. So here we are. Let's see. Oops, drew a dot. So what type of music? Well, today I'm feeling dub a lot, I like longer kind of mixes or DJ sets that involve dub. I just saw one from the 90s that I've been listening to this morning. That's one. As you know from the podcast, I really like music coming out of Cuban traditions. All right, Cubanismo, which is that's definitely fun. As you also know from my talk of hip hop often, I recently went to see a hip hop legend, at a show actually it was in my neighborhood. Okay, so hip hop for sure. Okay, so dub, Kubernetes, and hip hop. What else do I listen to? Oh, jazz, classic jazz. I'm gonna write classic jazz, and I just mean their jazz of the 50s, 60s, some earlier stuff too, but that kind of period of jazz. What else do we listen to? Oh, Baroque music. I really like to listen to Baroque music. That's like, I don't know, Bach. Bach, the composer. All right. Baroque for sure, especially Baroque organ music and keyboard music. This is something that people don't know about me, is that I actually have studied music a fair amount. And so I have always, I've always done it for self-care. It was always, in school, for example, it was always the thing that I looked forward to. It wasn't like the schoolwork part of school. It was things I did. It was something I did for me. So even that classwork was kind of self-care for me, now that I think about it. And it was about spending time with people, talking about music, listening, etc. So I'm making a note of that to myself as we go on. So anything else? Oh, yeah, I mean orchestral music, just in general. And oh, you know what? I love a string quartet. So I'll say string quartets. Big fan of the string quartet. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, I think we're going to call this done. So find out what your oxygen mask is. Mine today, I'm really thinking about how it's music and everything connected with that, and how that really helps me take care of myself, center myself, really get in touch with my feelings, get in touch with my, get centered, just kind of let go. I think that there's so many things that music does for me as care of self. So find out today what is your oxygen mask and talk about it a little bit with someone. And I'll see you tomorrow on the next episode of Life's Potluck Buffet. Thanks for joining me today. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give it a like, subscribe, and head to lifespotluck.com/worksheets to grab a copy of Worksheet 20 for yourself today. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.